Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Reaper of Pantheon mod, which is being made by user VimVam33. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the absolutely amazing sci-fi themed revolver, the Reaper. And oh my, have I been having a lot of fun with this gun. It may be a little bit high sci-fi, but if you are playing with a Brotherhood of Steel or perhaps an Institute character, I think it fits into the world quite nicely, especially with some of the modifications you can add onto this thing. It is pretty cool. So let's jump on down here and have a look at the standard version of the Reaper, which when you create it, it will have the Athena mod, which will do 53 damage with a 44 round, with a firing rate of 6, range of 131, accuracy of 67, and a weight of 3.5. And as you can see here, it is a simply beautifully made weapon. I really do love the modeling on this thing, and the texturing is pretty darn good as well. And there are even some texture variants you can do in the modification category there, which is quite nice, so you can change it more to your aesthetic if you so desire. But where this thing really does shine is the other modifications. Oh boy, you can change a lot on this gun. Now, it is always going to be a very slow-firing revolver, but between the changes in damage type to the legendary modules you can add, and even upgrading the gun to different Mark versions, this is a very good and powerful mid-to-late game pistol, which I very much like, especially if you do go with some of the perks that up that sort of pistol damage. This thing can be pretty powerful. Now, as for how you get to this lovely weapon, well, it's fairly simple, and the only way to get it legitimately without cheating like I did is to go to any chemistry station in the world and head to the new Reaper of Pantheon category, where you can build your very own Reaper with 7 aluminum, 2 fiber optics, 8 fiberglass, 6 gears, and 4 plastic, along with rank 1 in science. Now, you'll notice below it we have an ammo type of smart missiles, and this is one of the receiver changes you can make to the gun, where it actually fires tiny little missiles. I love it. And these will be created pretty easily with just 2 acid, 3 aluminum, 1 fiber optics, 3 fiberglass, and 2 oil, along with rank 2 of gun nut and science. And it'll create 6 smart missiles, which means you'll get 1 full reload of them for your gun, which is pretty nice. Now let's go take a look at the modifications we do have, and they are beautiful. And of course, we'll start in the receiver category, where we don't have many receivers, but they really do change up the gun quite a bit. And now when you make the gun, you'll get this standard Athena modification, which isn't the highest damaging, but hey, it's the bog standard thing. Now you can make a new Athena, Mark II, which actually does become a little bit slower with firing rate, and it doesn't really change the damage, but it's suppressed, and you can see it does change the barrel up there quite nicely to give it a new look. And after that, we have the Ares mod, which, even though the next one down is my favorite, this is by far the most powerful, giving you a base level of 72, and once you upgrade it further, you can get some really good damage out of this thing, and it changes up the ammo from 44 to the 2mm EC, making it quite a cool little, basically, Gauss pistol, I guess? It's fun. And next we have the, I'm gonna assume this is cut off as it's different letters there and there, should be Hephaestus mod, which changes it to the smart missiles. And yeah, it's, you know, not quite as much damage as the Ares, but close, and upgradable to even more. But I mean, come on, it's freaking tiny little smart missiles. They're beautiful. And next up, we have the front module, where you can get a laser pointer for better control, a red laser doing the same, or you can go with a ballistics computer to increase the range of aimed fire quite a bit there, as you can see, up to 275, and then finally a mark tracker, which, well, tracks targets. So very nice to have these various modifications. We then have legendary modules where you can add in crippling, freezing, furious, lucky weapon, nimble, penetrating, staggering, stalker, or a VATS interface into the weapon to make it even more powerful. I love it. Especially the freezing, since you also get a new damage type, which is always fun to have. And after that, we have these sights. Not a lot of options here. We either have nothing, an iron sight, or a reflex sight. Now, interesting thing then is actually if we do grab a sight real quick, I don't think it turns on. Yeah, there it goes. We have the eye adjustment right here, where you can actually choose how close your face is to the pistol when you go into aim with the scope there. You can either go afar, close, the default, or very close, basically having your face pressed right up against the gun. Kind of an interesting option I've never actually seen before in one of these gun mods. And then we also can change the reticule to one of these many different options in either 1x or 2x varieties. And they just change up what the reflex sight actually looks like, and it's pretty nice. Now, next after that, we do have the glow of the weapon here, where we can have either a blue, green, red, violet, or white glow to the receiver. And then after that, we can upgrade this from a Mark 1 to a Mark 5, and this greatly increases the damage. Even on just the standard Athena, you can get up to 92 there, making it pretty darn powerful. And with the legendary modules especially, you could really up that more or add alternate damage. And then finally, we have the texture options, where we have Ashen City, Gravewalker, Guardian, Shadowkeeper, Silver Hand, and the standard fighter that it always comes with. So very nice there. Just make sure you got a lot of paintbrushes, as each of them does require one of those. And that is all the fun little modifications. Now, let's take some shots with the standard one, and then actually I'll go ahead and grab my other ones, the Ares mod, the Hephaestus, and then I've got the Athena Mark II, so you can hear the silenced version. And let's go over to our range and fire. And there we go. As you can see on it, and also saw on the stats, it's a very, very slow firing rate. But once you do upgrade it with some good damage capacity, well worth it. Good smooth animation there, and let's switch up to the Mark II version for the silenced. And as you can see, I've also got the laser on this one, and the iron sights. It almost sounds like an energy weapon with the silencer on it, but you know what? I like it. Again, if you're a Brotherhood of Steel or Institute character, I think it's kind of fitting. And there we go. Now let's switch up to the Ares mod, where we have the 2mm EC rounds. And there we go. I've got this one on a closer zoom in. As you can see, we're a lot closer to the weapon. There we are. God, I love this one. Excellent. And the change to the gun on the front barrel just looks absolutely amazing with this one. I really, really do like it. And that muzzle flare change with these really looks very good. I really do like this one. It is by far the most powerful of them as well. I think I got, yeah, this one up to 111 damage. And then finally, we have the Hephaestus, which I actually made a freezing, so it does 109 base damage with 35 freezing damage with the smart missiles. And yeah, it's just tiny little missiles. You can fire off into the distance, and it makes me happy. There it goes. Bye-bye, missiles. It's actually kind of almost like a little flare gun, except, you know, has a lot more boom behind it. Good times. Now that means, of course, it's time to head over to Randy and Will, who must test our weapons out for us. So let's head over to Will first, as per usual, and just resurrect our good friend here. I'm so sorry, but missile. Oh yes, and of course the tracking on this one, I do have that particular barrel enhancement there. so we can track our enemies. And then, of course, Randy the Radstag. If we just bring him back to life, we'll actually get out the Ares mod version. And I'm sorry, my friend, but you must die. Ooh, one good shot there. He actually no, he didn't open the door. I thought it opened the door back there for a moment, but he's down. 2 shots and he's down. But yes, this is the Reaper of Pantheon mod, which is just an amazing new revolver that I really have been enjoying. The change between just standard 44 to these 2mm EC rounds all the way up to a freaking tiny smart missile is amazing. I really, really do love it. It's quite cool, adds some fun features into it, and the various texture options are quite entertaining on them, and the different barrel attachments are all quite cool, and the fact that we can actually change where our eye is when we go to zoom in is quite a unique feature. So I definitely would give this one a go, and if you would like to, you can check out the link in the description as per usual. But that is gonna be it for this episode, my friends. I hope you all have enjoyed, and that you do come back for the next one. Hopefully we'll be watching yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.